So on opening weekend, I went and saw Superman, and oh boy, I have thoughts. Don't worry, I think the movie is good, but this movie had a lot of controversy before it even got to release, so I'll quickly just touch base on that, and then I'll go into the good and bad of the movie. Be warned though, I'm going to be getting into spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, then here's my boiled down review. The movie is good, it does a lot of setup for the future, but it's a great time, it's funny, go watch. If you keep watching from here, you're getting spoiled. This review is really only meant for those who've seen the movie. Now for a little backstory. So, back when this movie was getting teased, production elected to let the people see Superman's new suit. And, good God, he was wearing trunks! Mayday! Mayday! Nah, I'm just kidding. But where I'm not kidding is that there was actual discourse around whether Superman should be wearing trunks in his suit. And somehow, this led to two factions. The people who were filled with hope for James Gunn's Superman, thinking he would return Superman to being a jolly little Boy Scout, and then there were the Snyder fans who wanted Superman to stay a somewhat gritty vigilante. Now, I can't personally speak for Snyder's Superman. I saw the movie like once when it released, and I was like 6, maybe 7 years old. So I have no clue if that movie is as good as people with Snyder's dick in their mouth say it is. But I was looking forward to a blue Boy Scout take on Superman, so I was on the James Gunn boat. You know, the classic Starman waiting in the sky style of Superman. And as trailers dropped, and teasers, we saw that we were most likely going to be getting something similar to that. And that got me excited personally, but those tensions just kept boiling up and up until the movie's released last week on the 11th. And after seeing it, I'm more than happy to give my totally 100% qualified review of Superman, starring David Corenswet. I'm sorry, that's just such a funny last name. So, in a brief summary, just to get it out of the way, Superman has been kicking around Earth for 3 years. He just stopped a conflict in another country, and now he's getting his ass kicked. Skip forward a bit, he makes Lex Luthor mad because he's still breathing. Skip forward a bit more, his parents are evil. Skip forward a bit more, we meet the Justice Gang with Mr. Terrific, Hot Girl, and Green Lantern, sporting a frankly abhorrent bowl cut. Skip forward more, and Superman defeats Lex Luthor and throws his ass in the slammer. We sneak in some setup for Supergirl, which is releasing next year, and cut. Now, that was super boiled down, but you've already seen the movie, so I'm just jogging your memory. The story, in my opinion, is fine. It's nothing insane, it's just a good old-fashioned superhero flick with a lot of love put into it. I like a lot of what it did. It was really basic plot-wise, but it was executed so well that I don't really care. Now, let's actually talk about the good in depth, namely, the fighting. The fighting in this movie feels really good. There's a big issue in movies where the heroes can fly where you can never really feel the punches. Take, for example, a scene in Man of Steel, where while Superman is fighting, it's a bit harder to feel the weight of how hard he's punching in comparison to this scene from The Batman, where Batman rocks this guy's shit, and you can immediately be like, damn! But thanks to whatever the hell they did on set, Superman's punching in this movie felt really weighty, especially in his fights with Ultraman, where they were flying through the sky and crashing through buildings. Each punch really felt like Ultraman and Superman were feeling it. When at the start of the movie, the Hammer of Bosnia, or just Ultraman again, spikes Superman like a bouncy ball and he slams into the ground. It all felt very fluid and intense, and it felt like Superman got hit. The fights were immersive, basically, is what I'm saying. The fights were very immersive, they were good. But for the next part I want to talk about, and probably the best part, the humor. The humor in this movie is really good, and this is going to be the main thing I talk about, because this movie is just genuinely shockingly funny. They didn't really make any of those edgelord jokes that the internet seems to love. Like, you're not going to hear Superman say some shit like cracking fine shit. But it's all just really solid humor. Like, take Krypto, for example. Krypto is never really all that boring, and he's the only character really used for comedic relief aside from Green Lantern, but they really play into how absurd the Superdog sidekick is. But you just get so into the whimsy of it all that when Krypto the Superdog is beating the shit out of genius millionaire Lex Luthor, you can't help but laugh at how, dare I say, silly the whole thing is. Another thing is that they know when to not be funny with the comedic relief, and that's just as important in my opinion. Like Green Lantern. After the world finds out Superman's parents pretty much sent him there to fucking conquer, he pulls up to Superman and immediately is on his own timing to interrogate him. Once Superman tells him to back off, Green Lantern pretty much says, if you want that fate, I'm gonna put belt to ass, so don't fuck with me right now. And I think that just worked really well. They knew not to make Green Lantern funny when it wasn't the right time to make him funny. They let him have his moment of hype, especially standing up to Superman, who he knew was probably stronger than him, but he chose he was going to fight for the Earth anyway. The comedy doesn't come first, but it's definitely present. Crypto too, when we see what Lex is planning to do with him, it is some twisted shit. I mean, he plans to study and then put down Crypto in a way he said, if I remember correctly, would be most certainly painful. Like, that is some evil shit, and the movie doesn't shy away from it with jokes. The only joke made is that they have Crypto thinking he's chasing flying squirrels. But they don't even let you laugh for long before Lex says, oh yeah, and after that, I'm just gonna fucking kill him. And while we're on the topic of Lex Luthor, I think he is the other best part of this movie. I'll keep this decently short though, because I want you to see him again. Basically, I just like that Lex Luthor was undeniably a dick. Every now and then, the movie will ask Superman if he had even stopped to think about the political implications of what he had been doing. And that was just meant to be like, oh my god, that's Lex's plan, he's gonna try and make everyone hate Superman. Just for them to later on reveal that, no, that wasn't his plan, he's just a dick and he just wants to kill Superman. I thought that was great. They did it well. Not every villain needs some crazy, intense plan about politics. Lex just wants to kill the boy in blue, so that's what the movie revolves around. 10 out of 10 villain, absolute cinema. But now it's time for the stuff that I didn't like. And that concludes that section. No, I'm just kidding. It's really just the amount of time spent with some of the characters. Take, for instance, Clark Kent. Not Superman, Clark Kent. I think they used him for what he was needed for. But with how little we saw him, it was kinda hard to believe that him and Lois were in love. Even though we had been getting told as such, it's just because of how little we got to see them together. Other than that, I wish we got to see some more side characters, like the elemental guy whose name I forgot, Hawkgirl, and Green Lantern. I do think that Mr. Terrific was cool though, and he got a really good amount of screen time. I liked him a bunch. But it goes to show for the movie that when my least favorite part of said movie was how little time we actually spent with the characters, it was still a great film. And to be honest, I don't have any other issues with the movie that I can think of. I thought it was super solid. I mean, it wasn't like a cult classic. It was just a good movie. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. If you're coming to this movie in hopes of feeling good by the end, then yeah, it's really good. The movie's only real message is that you should be a good person, which is all Superman really needs to say. Is it better than Snyder's Superman? I don't know. Go watch the movie and let me know. I also love the Peacemaker cameo. I'm excited for season 2. #SuperShit.